Hey everyone. Hopefully I've got that set up so you can actually see it. Kind of move things around a lot today. So. Okay, I'm going to give Facebook a minute to send out the notifications. And pull it up on my page. I'm going to do 2 projects, one with ink, one with chalk. So let's see if I can fix this so you can see it. I'm going to send out the notifications. Okay. Okay, if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and skip ahead like a minute. I know usually if I catch people on their replays, I will skip ahead, but go ahead and hit like or put in replay that you're catching it on it. Yeah, Melissa, I have, let me fix this. Let's do this a little bit better. Sorry, there's a delay on there, so I can't always see that my head's cut off or not. Yeah, Melissa, I have the crocodile. I haven't used it yet. I actually haven't taken it out of the package, but it does look like it's going to work really well for just like putting holes through really thick things. It's basically like a hole punch, but you can use it for, let's go here. It's basically a hole punch, but you can use it to cut through like an entire chalkboard, a really thick piece, so like the chalk chips and stuff. This thicker silicone one, it would punch a hole through that as well. I haven't taken mine out and actually used it yet though, so. Okay. Make sure it's sending out all the. Okay, so I'm gonna do the chalk one first because that's just gonna be the easier one to do. And then I will do, actually I've got my little wooden one as well. So I got this for like less than $1 at Hobby Lobby. I think it was like 70 cents or something like that, 60, 70 cents. And I thought it'd be cool to paint it and put on one of my little mini transfers to it. So for less than $1. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, I have my crocodile. I haven't used it yet, though. So I'm going to do, I guess I'll do 3 projects. I've been doing 3 projects in sets of 3 lately, so I'll do this one as well. And I'll show you actually how to use the chalk paste to paint. Okay. Let me toss this stuff out of the way. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my little 50, 75 cents. And the labels come off pretty easy. So I got this one at Hobby Lobby. It's less than $1. And I have seen plastic ones at either Dollar Tree or Dollar General. I can't remember which one. Might have been Family Dollar. They have similar ones that are plastic. I'm going to go ahead and grab orange just because I love my bright orange colors, obviously. And just going to go ahead and paint it on. And I just use the little foam brushes. I got a pack of like 12 of these. I can't remember where I got it. It might have been at Walmart. It was not very much. And this is just the, what is it? It's the Waverly chalk paint. I like it because it goes on thick on one coat. Where like I was using acrylic at first because that's just what I was most familiar with using. And you have to go so many coats over it to get like a nice thick covering like that. I just wanted it to, you know, if I can paint it once and get the color that I want, that's ideal. And if you have chalk paste, you can paint with chalk paste as well. You can either water it down or not. I find watering it down helps to smooth it out a little bit easier when you're using it as like as a background paint. Okay. Oops. Let's see how far this will go. So I've gotten one whole side, and see if I have enough to do the back side covered fully. If not, it'd be really close. Yeah, I'll have enough. Right. And the nice thing about the Waverly chalk paint is that it dries fairly quickly. So I'm just going to stick it in my little thing there to dry while I work on my other project. Then I'll keep this to the side just in case I decide I need any more. Oop, got a little paint on there. Okay. So if you've never used yeah, I know it's using the chalk chips. I wonder if it can be used on the tags. Because I do have some of the tags too. They look like they're about the same thickness as the chalk chip. So I haven't tried, I mean, most of the tags that I have this, but I have some that are metal in chalkboard that don't have holes in them. So I was going to try to, you know, see if I can get one in there as well with the crocodile. Okay, this is one of the new ones, and it is a whole lot of love. So family, a little bit crazy, a little bit loud, and a whole lot of love. So before I do that, I should clean off my board. So keep it simple. This was an older transfer. It's no longer available. But I do use elements of it in different projects. There's got my water bucket to the side. I actually upgraded my like kitchen water bucket to at Dollar Tree. I picked up a little oil pan in the section just because it's bigger around. So with the bigger transfers like these, it fits in there. It's a little bit easier to use than the deeper dish one. Okay, so for this I usually let the water sit on for, I don't know, 15-20 seconds, and then I just take the eraser, which you can use an old washcloth. The erasers are like the magic erasers, which you can pick up at Dollar Tree too for a couple of them. Like I think it's like 2 for $1. And it just takes it off. This has been on here for 2-3 months. Okay. So, and then you just rinse it out. As you can see, the chalk paste is coming under the eraser. And you just wipe it off. And then I will take my towel, which I have an old washcloth because this is what I used to use when I was fuzzing my transfers and cleaning up things. So this is just to dry it quicker. So when I put my transfer on it, it's nice and dry. And the chalk surfaces usually dry fairly quickly. Don't want that to fall off the edge. No matter what size my desk is, it's never big enough. Never big enough. Okay, so I'm going to fuzz this transfer. Don't fall in the water. Up, and this is Family Love. I'm going to usually, oh, I moved my marker, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Let's see if this works. Okay, this is one of the chalk markers. So I put my Sharpie marker, it was over there because I was using it for other things earlier. Right. The backing has a matte side, and then the glossy side is what you stick the transfer back on, because you can reuse the transfers usually about 10 times is what they say. I have ones that I've used over 20 times. Oops. If you stick it on itself, pull it up nice and easy. If it doesn't want to pull up, put a little water on it. Usually I don't have trouble with them sticking together when they're the 8x10, which is the B size, or the 5x7, which is like half this size. It's usually the ones higher than that I'm more careful with so that I don't do that. So how do you know if you fuzz something enough? Check for the hangers in the back. If you notice if you fuzzed it enough is when you go like this. If you can go like this and it's not sticking like glue to it, you're good for the chalkboard. And then I just eyeball it to center it. If you're worried about being able to get the corners up, you can take a little stir stick or something and stick it underneath the corner. That will give you something to grip when you go to pull it up. This one has plenty of room on the edge, and I've got fingernails, so it's easy for me to pop my fingernails down on the edge. Okay, so family. Grab some colors out. I'm gonna grab a color. I just got Lakeshore in because I just got restocked. I haven't used that one yet. And then pull out these ones. Okay, so pull out a couple of mine. I've got the white there too. So let me. It's like a pretty beach blue. We use squeegees to put it on. If you're using the messy technique, honestly, you can just dip your finger in and stick your finger on it and swirl it around. And then use the squeegee to scrape off any excess. But all the starter kits come with a squeegee. So I think I'm going to do green and blue. So I'm going to start with my blue. And I'm going to try to do the family in blue, but I'm going to try to do the leaf stuff that's around it in the light green. And I probably should have used a little bit of the tape. You can use little placement tape or like a little wasabi tape. You can use really any kind of tape you want, masking tape, painter's tape. When you've got things close together and you want to do different colors, it gives you a little bit more room to play with. I mean, it's chalk paste, it's water based, so if you make a mistake, you can just, erase it. But adding like a little painter's tape or something gives you a little bit more extra room. You don't have to worry about going over the edge. And I actually did cut some of my minis in half to give me like a smaller little squeegee to play with. So you can get into smaller areas. So I'm using the smaller one to get here in nice and tight with the little leaves that I want to do in green. Green or yellow? Sorry, I get a little quiet when I'm concentrating in the little small areas. Because if I get talking, then I'll forget. And end up changing my colors. Okay, my green. So my green is the pistachio, which is the seasonal, like Easter kind of green. Really pretty, I love it. And I'm definitely going to use a smaller squeegee for this one. The mini cut in half because it's all the leaf areas which are nice and small. So I did let people know that I can make custom stencils, and my hairdresser did ask for one, and I forgot to take a picture of it, so I'm gonna have to ask her to take a picture of it, but she was hanging it up when I left and I dropped it off. But it was a cute little one. And to have the stencil here, because I could still make them, but it was a cute little one, like, welcome to your therapy session, and then it goes, oh, I mean hair appointment. It has a little hairdresser on it. So it was pretty cute. And I will post pictures I took before I mailed out the shirts to my mom for my nephew's baseball game. So she's made her shirts so that she can have like their name and number on. So So it's got like their name and a baseball player and baseball on the front, and then their number and like Adner on the back. The 99, Logan's 99. I don't even know if he knows that Gretzky was 99 for hockey. I'm assuming that there's some 99 in baseball that he based it on. Either that or he was 9 and he wanted the 99. But the numbers came out like really nice and stripy. They look really good. It actually helped that much. It's just the way that my printer printed it, because I had made the mistake of not saving it as a JPEG before I printed it. But it looked good because the numbers look like they have pinstripes on them. They look cool. And I'm supposed to make them for my brother as well. However, him and Mary have not told me what they want on shirts or what kind of shirts they want. So they need to get their acts together so that I can finish them and then send them down. And then when they go to the boys' games, they can wear their shirts. I do have lots of shirts. I actually have quite a few polo shirts that I got because I got a really good deal on them. So if anybody's looking for like a polo shirt, let me know. For a couple bucks, and I can add design or a little small logo or anything on it too. You can make it custom, or any of the designs that you've seen me used. Love this color. So these are kind of like the Easter spring colors. Golden Hour is this yellow, which is another one of the Easter spring colors, and this is just Peony, which is the pink. And the foam lids to helps keep the formula, help it last longer. So let's see, and hopefully I'm doing this quick enough that the top won't have started to dry. It looks like it is. So you can kind of tell when the chalk paste starts to dry, because if you look at it, you can see the edge looks a little darker than the center. Because it, just as it dries, it doesn't look as right. So hopefully, I pull this up. You grab each corner as you want to try to get it to the top. Yay! And then pretty much pull from the middle as much as you can. And this is one of the most colorful ones I've done. And I'm just going to throw this in my water. By putting it in the water, it just kind of helps loosen up the chalk paste. So any of it that was starting to dry. And by the time I take it out to clean it, after I get done my next project, it'll pretty much be clean. So this is one of the new ones. And it was called A Whole Lot of Love? Yeah, A Whole Lot of Love. But fits in perfect with all my ancestry family stuff that I do, because I do family trees and stuff as well. Family, a little bit crazy, a little bit loud, and a whole lot of love. So I use the pistachio, the Lakeshore is the blue, Golden Hour is the yellow, and Peony is the pink. Okay. Great. I'm going to set this off to the side to dry a little bit. And it's hard. With the light and everything on the online. I'll post a picture of it, because the colors are a lot more vibrant than it shows on than what I'm seeing on my computer screen. And I've got a new computer screen with the whole HD and everything on it, so it just doesn't. Colors look better in person than they do on that. I mean, you can see the colors, but it just looks so much better in person. All right, so there's some more colors, and I'm actually just going to pop these back here because the next thing I'm doing is ink. Get these out of the way. Okay, so the Bad Decisions Make Great Stories one that I did the other night. I'm going to do that again, but this time I'm going to use it in ink. And I actually, at Dollar General, got this at Dollar General for $1. A little flag. But it's a cheap little flag that comes with. There's nothing wrong with it. I really wanted the metal part of it, so it's for $1. And I actually in Dollar Tree got some more of these metal ones that are bigger, like full size. So I'm going to do a big full size pennant on that as well. So this is just, I'll figure out something to do with this. I'm going to toss it to the side for now. I'm going to use, this is the 5x7 pennant banner, so it should fit on this perfectly. It comes with a little dowel and string to hang up, but I won't need it if I'm using this. So let me go ahead and open it up. So normally you've got the string to hang it with, and then you've got the dowel to put across the top, and then this. And I'm actually I forgot to turn on my Easy Press, because my Easy Press is what I will use to set it, heat set it. So I'll go ahead and just turn that on. What I'm going to do, why I turned it on, is I want to iron this out and get it nice and even first before. Now the dowel and the string I'm not going to need, so I'm just going to put them back in the bag. I'll find another use for them. So I still have those in case I need it. I never throw anything out. Crafts, you can pretty much find a use for everything. Okay, so got my towel and I've got my transfer. Feel free to hit like if you hop on. Okay. The ink I'm using is Current Jam. Until I got it, I couldn't figure out what Current Jam, the color really was. It was hard to tell. But when I put it on things, it's like a maroon kind of color. Hanger off to the side, and I'm going to slide this on here just to see while I'm waiting for that to heat up, just to see how it goes. Oh. Might be a little difficult to get on. Alright, I'm not going to put it on until afterwards, but once I slide it on here, it should fit pretty perfectly. But it's not going to be the easiest thing to get on because this has got a little bend in it. So it's just going to make it take a little bit longer than I normally would. All right. So you don't need to have a fuzzing cloth. I mean, there's different incentives where you can win them and stuff too. But for the fuzzing cloth, you can use an old washcloth. Like this is what I used to use for pretty much washing things, fuzzing them, cleaning them off. I used to use like old washcloths and towels. But I have a fuzzing cloth now, and I still do use this for little things, especially when I'm doing lots of projects at once. Hello. And let's see, it's almost heated up. So if you've never used an Easy Press, it's part of on the Cricut line. Basically, it's like an iron. It's an iron that you can set the temperature to make it, and you can set, and it's got a timer. So let's see. I'm just going to try to lay this flat. And that was my Easy Press telling me that it's ready. It's at the right temperature. So, yeah, I don't know if you're really going to be able to see the Easy Press. I might have to slide it over here a little bit. You use a piece of parchment paper, and then you just put it on. This entire thing is an iron. And I have a little mat underneath it as if it was an ironing board. But the mat makes it easy, so when I'm doing t-shirts and stuff, it'll fit right inside the t-shirt. I just pretty much want to get the creases out of this. Get it as flat as possible before I use it. I'm not using the timer at this point. I don't need to use the timer until afterwards. Alright. It's got a nice, like, plastic, not plastic, but silicone tray that it sits on. Ooh, okay. Nice and hot, but nice and flat, just like I want it. Okay. Put this over to the side. And this is nice and flat, but we have ink pads, which is like it's like a Cricut map, only it's nicer and stickier. And let me grab my Cricut mat because I was using them earlier. I'll grab the ink mat. So I do have little ink kits if you wanted to try an ink kit that comes with a variety of different items. Just because when you use ink, you get more to do. This is actually, I actually cut this in half, so it's actually, you know, normally twice as long as this. And it's really sticky. If you've ever used Cricut mats, it's way stickier than a Cricut mat because I was using my Cricut mat, an old Cricut mat first. So it's just to hold your t-shirt, or in this case a pennant. It's to hold it still so when you're putting the ink on it, it's not sliding around. Because you also want to be careful the transfer doesn't slide around. You do not need to fuzz it when you're doing cloth though. So when I fuzzed it to do the chalkboard, you don't need to do that when you're using ink. Because I want the transfer to stick as much as possible. So just need to line it up. And I pretty much just eyeball it. Well, I should have put this on like a corner of the mat. If my hands keep sticking to the side. Okay. So I'm only going to use one color ink. And just use one of my normal little mini squeegees. There's a small squeegee which is bigger. Which it just pretty much, it makes things go on quicker. But I pay attention to the details, so I do like the smaller ones. Smaller hands. Makes it a little bit easier. I did drop this on the floor, so in transit sometimes you'll end up with stuff on the lid. Just scoop it off the top and put it into the jar. Okay, so with ink, you don't need to put on a huge globs like you do with chalk paste. You kind of want to be a little bit more, start with little blobs, yes, little gaps of chalk paste. And you want to scrape it sooner because if you have too much ink that's sitting on there for too long, it'll start to, it will soak into the material. But you want to monitor how much it's soaking in. So pretty much you want to make sure that you're putting the ink on evenly all the way across and down. So it's like put it on, scrape it, put it on, scrape it. And when I did the white t-shirts for my nephew, I used like a candy apple red. Because his team colors are red, basically red, white, and blue. I ended up going over that with the candy apple twice because I really wanted to make sure that the red stood out and it was soaking into the shirt. So to make it extra bright, that's what I did. You also want to try to go in the same direction with the squeegee. So as you can see, I'm going up and down. You can go up and down or side to side. Just don't do both on the same project. I mean, nothing, you're not going to die or anything if you do that, but what it does is makes it less likely for you to move the transfer around and that you're going to have bleeding or smearing when you go to lift it up. So that's it. That's how quick and easy that I've done this. I will usually at the bottom, because the bottom ink stays wetter longer than the chalk paste, so you've got more time to play with it. And in this case, what I've learned from doing it is that when I get to the bottom, the top is good to go and ready to be pulled back. However, you got to give the bottom like at least 30 seconds. And just enough so the ink to soak in so that when you pull it up, it doesn't want to bleed. And that's just something that over time that I've kind of noticed. So I realize if I give it like an extra 30 seconds at the end, when I pull it up, I'm going to have less likelihood of having any kind of issue like that. You pull it up the same way, a little on each side. So hopefully, I'm going to do it nice and slow. Okay, throw that in there. Now this is thick enough where, like, it didn't go through. So the ink did not go through to the other side. The ink mat is to protect it in case it does. But the pennants that we have are thick enough. I use the sticky mat for the pennants mostly to make sure that it's nice and flat surface. But you don't have to. Completely up to you. So nothing really got through to it to the other side. But when I do the t-shirts and stuff, ink does go through the shirts, even though they're thicker cotton ones. So I usually then will clean it off, wait for it to dry before I put the sticky mat back on. But nothing went through on this time, so I'm just going to pop the cover on it, which helps protect it and keep it sticky for the next time you go to use it. I can't even, I probably should have marked on the back how many times I used it to keep track, but you can use the same trick as you use with a Cricut of putting the soap on it and using the little squeegees on it to get it sticky again. Okay. So, you're supposed to be able to, so usually I give it a good 24 hours for the ink to dry before I even attempt to use my Cricut squeegee. Okay. Before I even attempt to use my Cricut Easy Press. However, you're supposed to be able to, by using the parchment, heat set it right away. So, let me slide my ink over there. You can see. I'm going to put it on there. And then it's same as a shirt. I use 350 for 30 seconds. My Cricut Press cord's only so long though. So. All right. And then if you have a Cricut, you hit the green button. 30 seconds was already set. And you basically just leave it on there. It's a big, huge iron. I don't know, for some reason I feel like I need to do something. So I've seen people go like this on it, so I just pretty much kind of do the same thing, move it around. I don't know why. No rhyme or reason to it, just usually what I do. So after 30 seconds, when I pull it off, it should be all nice and dry. I'm supposed to flip it over to do the other side. I don't think I'm gonna for this one because it's just a little matte. If you're doing a lot of things, then it's good to do that. So since this is the first time I've ever done it when it was still wet, it got on the parchment paper, but that's it. It didn't get on anything else. Bad decisions make good stories. And then usually you flip it over and do the other side. I don't think I need to. If I need to, I'll do it. I'll do it anyways. But just to make sure that I protect it okay, I'm going to go like this. That way, because it's still wet, if any of the ink were to go through, it's protected with the parchment. All right, another 30 seconds. And then I'll try to put it on my little hanger. And I'll have a good flag for my little garden. I've got like a little rose garden out there. And I'll put this one in the rose garden. And then I'll have to figure out what I want to do in the bigger signs. I actually probably should do a mother one because then I can give it to Mom for Mother's Day. I should do that. Done. Alright. You can see the steam coming off it as to how hot it is. Alright. So, now that I've got another thing, let's see how hard it is for me to put this on there. Not too bad once I ironed it out, actually. I probably should have it facing the other direction, but I'm redoing it now. Well, it needs to go the other way. Just because of the way that the side goes. This side should go on this side. And with these, actually, because the ink didn't go through, I could do a different transfer on the other side. I could even do something like simple, like flowers or anything really. All right. Much better. Okay, so this is for my little rose garden. And again, I got this at Dollar General. And then it came with the cheap little like nylon flag, which I didn't like. But I hoped that it would fit these banners, and it does. So if you want like a little ink kit with this, let me know. I do have extra of this transfer, but I have extra of others too. So let's see if I can stick this in here temporarily. My star is now dry, so I can finish that one. All right. Put these over there. And, okay. I've got 4 of my transfers. Oh, I don't know where my little ones are because I moved them. Okay. 1, 2. So the B-size transfers come in sets. There's 12 or come in like sets of these. 12 on one sheet. Depending on the theme. There's summer, spring, vacation. And I'm trying to look. I just keep them in a bin. Just make it a little easier. And if you get mini kits will usually have one of these in it, whether it's an ink mini kit or a chalk kit. All different kinds of designs. So I'm just picking through them. Sometimes it takes me forever to pick out a transfer. The summer one's got like a little sailboat. There's farm ones, Farm Sweet Farm. There's horses, and ones with sheep, cows, scooters. Valentine's Day, there was ones now. You can also usually get like a A-size that has 3 in it, which are a little bit bigger. Those fit the tags usually pretty well. Let's see. I love my little Halloween sayings, obviously. So I've got all these, and then I have a new set that I haven't even opened yet. That's the summer ones. Alright, so I just grabbed out some that I like, because I'm going to do both sides. The first thing that you do, though, because I painted it and it's a wood service, so to protect both the wood, the paint, and the transfers, I'm going to put a little wax on it. You can use any kind of mini wax. I have a bigger one for mini wax specifically, but just a little goes a long way. It's clear, it's unscented, so it's just protecting the surface. And you can basically use it immediately after you get the wax on it. Okay, so this is ready to be chalked on both sides. Now, I've just got, should be able to do, so I love this one, which is, this is the Less Monday, More Summer. And I've used this one a lot, so I'm not even going to bother to fuzz it. Just going to stick it right on there. And I want a nice bright color on it, so Let's see how white looks on it. Just wondering if white's going to be, it should be bright enough because it's a bright white. I should have gotten more of these little star ones. So, how quick and easy was that? Very quick and easy. I'm getting financial aid questions from my aunts. I'll answer your question as soon as I'm done with my live. And on the other side, I'm going to use the butterfly one, just a cute little butterfly one. And this one is still pretty sticky, so I am going to fuzz this one up. You'll get to tell just by the, you'll get used to the feeling of it. So I'm kind of trying to hold it up. This one's pretty square because it's got writing along with the butterfly. But just want to make sure I get it all on there without touching the other side of the star. It will dry pretty quickly, but I'm going to try to kind of hold it and hopefully not stick my fingers in the opposite side. Just so I can show you guys. Normally I would just wait, but I'm going to finish up this project because then I'm going to dig out my bigger flag. The small flag hold, the small pennant holder I have there. I have the bigger one from Dollar Tree. I'm going to grab that one and do the Mother's one on it for Mother's Day. Okay. So as you can see, I'm going to pull off my little one. Got my cute little butterfly. So I've got my little butterfly, and then the less Monday, more summer. Hopefully I'm not holding on too, guys. You guys can hear. I'll stick this in the bucket too to dry. Okay, and put these back in my little bin. Alright, so looks like people are popping on and off, so I'm gonna go ahead and, while I'm still live, grab the flag, and I've got the Mother's Transfer right behind me to see if that will fit the big pennant on it. It'll take me just a few seconds because I've got it right here. And I can't believe these were only $1 at Dollar Tree. I really need to go back and get some more of them. So this is the one, like standing up from the floor, it stands to here. And then like this pennant is going to hang on it pretty well. But I also have one that's designed as a garden flag. So let me see if I can grab that one right here. And if it is going to fit better on this hanging one. I don't know if it's going to fit better or if it's going to be worse. This is like a burlap one. So when it sits in the ground, it'll be a little bit lower, but Dollar Tree. Okay, so let me set this right here. Hope that it doesn't fall. Stay. Okay. And let's see, so I've got two different options. But this one, which is designed to be a garden flag, like a 2-pack. And I'm going to hold it up for size comparison to the pennant. pennant's got the string and this. So the pennant is much smaller. And I think that the burlap one is going to look better on this. So if I were to hang it up like this, yeah, the burlap one's definitely going to look better than the pennant one. So I'm going to put the pennant one away because that has the string hanger. And this one would hang perfectly on there. Awesome. Definitely have to go to Dollar Tree and get some more of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do for Mother's Day, the mother one that I did the other day. First, I'm going to on here, oops, come over here. Just want to get that crease out if I can. Not getting out as well as I'd like. Alright, so I'm shutting off my Cricut machine because I'm going to wait for this to dry before I iron it as a precaution. And I've got my ink mat, and I haven't used one of these burlap ones before. It's like a double-sided one, so I'll put my ink mat underneath and see how it does. This is not going to fill the entire thing, so I can either, I'm going to leave a little room down here because I have different birds and things that I can go ahead and put on there. So I'm pretty much going to, I guess, center it as best I can. And I'm not fuzzing it because I want it to be as sticky as possible. And I've used this one every day for like the last 4 days. Okay. All right. And I'm going to put the ink mat on first. Be smart about that. So it's this one part here in the middle that we want to make sure it sticks because that's where the crease is. Get down there. And it's 2 layers, so that's what's making it so it's not sticking that, it's not getting rid of that crease because it's actually 2 layers. It's like a 2-sided thing. Right. Pretty much right here in the middle. I don't know if you can see the glitter on this. It's from when I did it in the Shimmer Frost, and glitter, I mean, I don't have any glitter on my fingers, but as you know, glitter sticks on everything that it touches. And Dead Sea for colors. I think I'm going to use some different kinds of blues. Do you guys have any opinion? Blue, green, I want to make sure that it stands out. How about blue, green, and purple? What do you think about that? Everybody okay with green, blue, green, purple? Yay! Alright. I did it without tipping everything over. Until I walk away and it falls off. Okay. So I just grabbed blue, green, purple as different colors to do it, and those should stand out nicely on the burlap. And hopefully, so. All right. I'm going to open my inks. So my purple is the Regal. My green is the Meadow. And my blue is the, is it Cadet or Colonial Blue? It's the Cadet. Oops. Right. said, I think I'm just going to have it fade one color or another, just like purple to green to blue. That's the direction I'm going in. All right. And pretty much going side to side, but I'm going right straight across. Trying not to have too much ink on it, especially since this is a double layer. I think I've got the purple there. Next squeegee for the green. Okay. I'm tossing that one in there and that one in there because I just got green and purple touched each other. So one more squeegee to do the very bottom with the cadet blue, which is like a true blue. And you'll notice when you pull it up, if you had ink sitting on one section longer than in others, you'll notice the color difference when you go to pull it up. All right, I think I got it. So let's pull it up and see what it looks like. This would look good in a rainbow color too, because it looks really good. So if I ever were to do it in a rainbow color, depending on what I have to figure out something for the other side. Because if I did it in another color on the other side, well, let's see if it went through the ink mat. Not really. One area down here where the because is, it looks like, because I didn't give it that extra 30 seconds before I pulled it off, I think that's why the BECA is a little, that either that or had a little bit more ink on that one section. So once again, I did not get anything on my ink mat. Mom, do you like this? She probably won't even watch the video for it. But if she skips to the ends and sees it, see if she likes it. If not, if somebody, or even if somebody else does like it, I have like 3 more I can make. So we put it on the flag. And let me cut this off. A little sticker that they put on. This says 35.5 inches. So it's 35.5 tall. Now I'm going to be able to heat set this with it being on the bar, so I'm not worried about it drying or anything. So if this were the ground, it'd be like this. What do you guys think? I don't know if you can see it or not. If I hold it up that high. I love it. Because I also have bigger ones that are like 12 by 18, and those probably are going to fit this. So now I just need to figure out what I want to put on the other side of it. I'm going to have to think about that. Because I have the wings and stuff. But I need to let this dry first. So make sure I can stick it in here to dry. It's not going to fall over. Don't fall. Okay, so that's it for me tonight. If anybody, I'll post pictures of the mother ones just in case anybody needs anything for Mother's Day. And I do still have welcome boards. Or I mean, you can always give your mom something like this. Bad decisions make good stories, especially if you're, you know, the bad child in the family. So, here we go. This, and I did the star, and I did the big flag, and I also did, I'm not worried about setting that down because this is already dry. It's dry on both sides. It dries that quickly. So this one's dry as well. And I'll post a picture of this because I wish you guys could see the color on it. The color is really good, and the screen does not really do it justice. You can't really see how green this is, or how pink this is. Kind of looks a little faded. All right, I'm signing off for tonight. Guys, have fun. I'll be back on, I'm going to be on live every night. So if there's a time that works better for you so you can actually catch me live and chit chat with me while I'm live, just post it. Just post it on this video or any other videos. Anything you post on, it's going to pop up for me to read it on my notifications. All right. Okay, night everybody. Have fun.